Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, hitting you with another video that is not a review slash recap, not a Toku, not the Henshin Homies podcast, clearly it's just me, but instead something a little different. If you didn't watch my last video, go back and watch my last video I just recently put out about the Immortal Red Fox indie tokusatsu hero project, basically, by Matt Shipman. He's also working on a crossover project called XP Indie Hero Taisen, involving other indie tokusatsu heroes, originally created heroes from American creators, but then also across the world. International attention, basically. All came together basically during the pandemic. He started getting attention with VFX artists and stuff like that, and they all wanted to help, plus they referred him to other people that wanted to be a part of it. So I'm going to talk today briefly as I can about episodes 1 and 2. Now, these are not yet open to the public. This is kind of an exclusive for the channel, which is a really big honor. Thank you so much, Matt, for giving me the honor of being able to watch this awesome content and be able to talk about it as tight-lipped and spoiler-free as I can. So these are not public yet. They will be very soon. Episode 1 is pretty much ready to go. Episode 2 is right there, but they're still kind of polishing a few things up on it. And it will be out pretty soon as well. So check that out. I will link down below the Immortal Red Fox YouTube channel, and right underneath that, the Patreon for the Immortal Red Fox that you guys can support if you would like to. If you guys can't, if you guys don't want to do that, you don't feel right about that, you don't want to put that into your budget, it's totally fine. I understand. Even though there's multiple tiers, I still get it. I'm not trying to push you and tell you what you have to do. This is just how I feel. I'm passionate. You know how passionate I am about tokusatsu. You know how much I have a pretty good, sense of what's decent content and what's not. So I would hope I'd be able to persuade you to see where I'm coming from in terms of a good project when I see it. But if you absolutely don't want to support it financially, I totally understand. Just make sure you share these videos around as much as possible, and the links, letting people know about these projects. One passionate tokusatsu fan community can come together as tight-knit as we are. And like I said in the last video, 460 some of you, however many there are that are subscribed to me, if every one of you went to that Patreon and donated $1, that's almost an extra $500 he did not have before, that he has extra on top of his budget to do more with. You do 5, it's even more. 15, 25, it just keeps going. And the future is bright. We got to keep supporting each other. We got to have each other's back. That's the whole point of the Henshins and Homies podcast, and the whole point of this channel as well, alongside reviewing these awesome shows that we all take in. But without further ado, so Indie Hero Taisen. I watched episode 1 and 2 last night. I talked to Matt about some stuff. He was kind of getting to the group chat with us on Twitter about it, and then moved over to Discord. And he said he wanted us to be able to see it. This is an exclusive. Please don't share this. And do not, if you're going to talk about it, try to be, spoiler free. Don't really review it until it's public. And I totally understand that. I want that to come out there and get the general public's idea about it first. Then I'll come through and actually do my full-on review. So if you want to be completely and utterly spoiler free about this, you don't want to see anything about Indie Hero Taisen until it's fully finished, totally respect that. Go ahead and click off the video now. I'll give you a few seconds and I won't talk about any spoilers. Again, I'm going to keep it as light as I can without giving away too much. So, episode 1 is a little shorter, but it's still really good. It's basically the setup for the whole crossover, and the idea that there's this multiversal threat that is trying to end all heroes, essentially wanting to wipe out heroes in general, no matter where they are in the multiverse, no matter where they exist, and wants them gone. We don't know why yet, but we just wants them gone. And we actually start with Immortal Red Fox, but in the past, and I'm going to leave it at that. We get some really badass fight choreography, some awesome stunts, some pretty decent knockout / kills, kind of, as much as that is in Toku, and some pretty decent awesome effects. You really can still see the continuing passion, the evolution of the effects, and the evolution of their craft. Like I said in the last video, as you watch these videos as they released, you see them getting better and better and better and better. And they're just doing more and more every time. They're taking more chances. They're adding more effects in. They're taking their time. And they're giving us a finished product that's worth your time. So many indie projects try to just hyper, light speed through to the end and produce something and get something out there without taking the time. Not even just indie projects, like projects in general, games, movies, TV shows, whatever. They sometimes just don't take the time to slow down and figure things out. And that's not the case here. they're really doing the best they can to have the attention to detail necessary to tell the story they're trying to tell. And I really appreciate that. It's a really banger first episode. Although it's short, you're kind of used to it by now. If you've been watching the videos, they're not super duper long. So it's going to be unique from like normal tokusatsu, which is anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. But they're still worth your time. And you're by that point of watching everything up to now, a 3 or 4 minute thing is like, okay, sure, that's about average. And you just kind of move on with it. But it doesn't waste any time. And it doesn't go too fast, doesn't go too slow. The pacing is great. Again, the fight choreography, I'm not going to give too many details on it, is just absolutely fucking stellar. Banger shit. Some really badass moves. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. And that brings us into episode 2. Before I get into this, episode 2 does talk about and introduce and show a character called Wushu Mantis. A martial arts themed character that is very much so more directly Kamen Rider themed. In a previous video, I can't remember exactly which one, a previous Immortal Red Fox video he put out, he did his own eye catch for the first time. We don't know what eye catch is. Basically, it's when like in America, when a show goes to commercial, like let's say SpongeBob, right? It'll go to commercial and then the screen will go black and they'll go to a commercial. And after the commercial is done, it'll go back to black and then back to the show, right? Well, in Japan, they do things different. They don't do a black screen like that. They let whatever show it was have what's called an eye catch, which keeps your attention, keeps you focused. The kids focused on the shows. They're seeing something related to the show before they go to commercials and come back. Whereas kind of what they do in America, the kids can kind of lose their focus. But if they see Kamen Rider Ichigo, let's say on his, cycle, motorcycle, with some animation and some cool colors, they might keep it more in mind. It's going to keep their attention and more of a chance they're going to want to buy toys. So he did an eye catch and it showed off this Wushu Mantis character. I was very, very interested in the very second I saw it. It's a really, really unique design, really well put together, and very much so, like I said, more directly influenced by Rider Ichigo and just a few other pieces. There's some like Kuga-esque things and some other stuff, but it's not entirely Rider. There is some like Metal Hero-esque things and Sentai-esque things to it, but a really cool design. So he's kind of our character, other than Immortal Red Fox, that's in episode 2. They have some stuff going on between them. They have some fights that happen again. Some even better fight choreography than we already got in the previous episode, just episode 1 of Indie Hero Taisen. And a bit more like story beats are picked up on and little tidbits left of what's going to happen going forward, and some connective tissue between the episodes of certain concepts, linking certain characters together and setting things in motion for what's going to happen in the plot. And I really appreciate this. Like I said, they're not making this a super long thing that's going to have like the same runtime, like I said, as like an episode of Kamen Rider or an episode of Super Sentai or Power Rangers or what have you. But even in the time they give you, there's still a lot being said, a story being told, and actions happening. And I really enjoy that. They really take advantage of the time they have, even though it's not the full 22 minutes that we're used to. I will say, going in to watching these videos in general, just like the first Mortal Red Fox videos, I was excited, but I was like, they're not very long. I want them to be longer. I don't. That's the thing. I don't want them to be longer. Like, I'm sure they will eventually, but like as they are now, they're the perfect length to get you in. Here's a story, here's the monster, here's why he's fighting them, here's a fight, here's a henshin sequence, boom. We hit all the good points, and that's the important part of it, to see this original idea come to fruition. So again, we're starting to sow the seeds of this multiversal crossover and starting to see these characters work together and what will eventually come in the future. We get a glimpse of some maybe future characters that might appear, some of the other indie heroes that might cross over and be a part of it, the Gemingers and a few others. And overall, it's a pretty awesome episode. Again, it's really weird not being able to like jump into all the details, but it's a pretty cool episode. He does a really good job. Matt just knocked it out of the park. Again, I'm not going to go into too many details, but just know that, like, please trust me. Like, I enjoy quality content. I review this stuff all the time. I would not go out of my way to watch something that I knew I wasn't going to enjoy, or that afterwards, after watching it, knew that I'd be giving a really awful garbage review of. So this is some good stuff. It's really passionate. You can see the passion and the love at the very core of it, and it radiates all the way through. And that's what's important. Like I've said before many times on this channel, we might be a smaller community, a niche community, but we're a tight-knit community. That's why this is the point of doing the Henshins and Homies podcast. Sure, is it fun to week hop on there and freak out and geek out about tokusatsu with my good friend Frankie? Well, duh. But it's also fun that we're bringing these awesome bros and friends from around the community with these awesome skills that I don't fucking have. And they bring their passion and those skills to the world. They get to see people get to see how much they love this genre and these characters and these worlds and these techniques and things like that, and what they can create with it. May it be something completely original like Immortal Red Fox or like the Gem Ingers. May it be something like how Gem did the Lost Nago thing inspired by Kamen Rider Geats or what have you. We all have that flame of inspiration within us. And the one for Immortal Red Fox, Matt Shipman's flame is just about to engulf the world. Man, the world is his oyster. He's got some really good shit here, and you guys really need to check it out. I really, 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 really hope that you guys do. Like I said, links below. There's the Patreon link if you guys want to support fully the project. First will be the YouTube link to the Immortal Red Fox page. You can watch all of the current videos available up to now. Underneath that, I will also leave a link to their TeePublic store if you want to buy some Immortal Red Fox merch. And also a link to the Amazon page where you can buy the manga that tells most of the story for Immortal Red Fox himself and generally fills in, gaps of characters and things like that. So if this seems interesting to you guys, please support it. Again, I can't tell you what to do with your money. I'm not going to come to your house and be like, did you support the Patreon, and start like fucking fighting you in your house or some shit. But like, maybe. I'm just kidding. But I hope that in some way my goofy passion and how much I love these heroes. I mean, look at my shirt. I am 32 wearing this shirt with all these toys behind me stuck to my wall with tape. All right, damn it. If that doesn't show how passionate I am about it, and that I might know something of what I'm talking about, and that I might be someone to trust, perhaps. If I'm not too scared to show you all this shit behind me and this fucking shirt, and be a goof and make all these henchman videos and stuff like that, and still support stuff like this, what's the point? Our passion is who we are. At our heart, our passion guides us. It tells us what we think we need to do, what is going to make us happy and have an impact on the world. And this can do that. Maybe the right eyes see this. Maybe the right eyes see this project, see that it's doing well, give him a bigger budget, get him produced on television with a full runtime. Give him access to the special effects that he needs, give him access to the writer's room and everything else that he needs. Maybe they'll see that, they love these original projects so much, well, maybe we should really give ourselves a kick in the butt with the, the Sentai releases and the Rider releases, subtitled in English and all that good stuff. Who knows? The future is bright. So all I'm trying to say is be positive, go in with an open mind, and try to take a look at this awesome project. Dive deep into the world of the Immortal Red Fox, and go fox yourself. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.